We talked about this game on Friday night, that this was going to be a battle of two very good teams. You were looking for a defensive type of battle. I was looking more of a little bit of an offensive show between the rookie of the year, Jaden Daniels, and a new and improved Russell Wilson. Were you surprised as to how well Russ played and the amount of success that the Pittsburgh offense is having? We know the defense is going to show up. The offense is now raising eyebrows and providing a momentary pause for the Baltimore Ravens, who at this point are their number one rivals in the division. How surprised were you as to how good the offense of the Pittsburgh Steelers look and how Russ is playing?
That's the reason why I said that they was going to win this game, man. As much as Justin Fields got them wins when Russ was out. Justin just wasn't able to get the ball to the receivers that they have, the George Pickens of the world, and now they got Mike Williams over there. Just wasn't able to get the ball to him. With Russ, you had that ability to get those balls, and it was proven in that game. George Pickens made some nice catches, and then that one catch that Mike Williams that they just acquired from the Jets did awesome. But again, they two-headed monster was able to accumulate about 100-yard rushing too, which again that keeps Jalen Daniels off of the field. So I wasn't surprised. I told you I thought it was going to be more of a defensive battle. So to see 28-27, I wasn't suspecting to see. I didn't think the game was going to be that high of a scoring game, but I'm not surprised that Russ can get the ball to the players.
Yes, sir. And then our first derogatory comment of the evening, that title obviously goes to Troy. Russ is not Alpha Sugar. He is not trash. So you better put some respect on his name, as somebody once said. So I want to talk about the Washington Commanders. And I knew this was going to, well, I didn't know, but I thought this game was going to play out the way that it did. I just thought that the Washington Commanders were going to be able to make a late game play that was going to be the difference maker. And they almost made it. Right, because we always talk about this being a game of inches, and that fourth down pass to Goddard, if I remember correctly, was just that short from being a first down, which would have obviously continued to drive with less than 2 minutes left, being down by one. You would have assumed that the the Commanders would have gotten in the field goal range because they were right there at the Steelers' 40-yard line when they turned it over on downs. Now, I feel good as a Washington Commanders fan, if I'm a Washington Commanders fan, on how well Jaden Daniels played against one of the top two defenses in the National Football League, putting up 28 points and making it look somewhat easy at times, not really being under pressure, to the point to where I become a Caleb Williams lookalike, seeming like I'm confused a little bit. So it bodes well for the Commanders going forward as they get into the meat of their schedule with the Eagles coming up this upcoming weekend. Now, on the opposite side of the ball, Steeler Nation really has to have some good, warm feelings in their belly, right? Their chest should just be a little bit more inflated. Their chin should be just a little higher because Russ is playing like the Russ of old. To the point to where you can say, let Russ legitimately cook in that offense. I was a little surprised as to the amount of success that they had in the run game. Najee was running aggressive, like he was playing for his contract. Oops, this is a contract year. So Najee Harris is looking to secure that bag as well. He was playing like a man-child out there, running people over, refusing to go down, even when he's getting game tackled. So as long as Pittsburgh continues to have that type of mentality, that type of hunger, that type of both offensive and defensive aggression, then Baltimore legitimately has to worry about these same very Pittsburgh Steelers not only beating them in this upcoming game here in 2 nights, but actually being good enough to win out down a stretch and not only win the division, but be a real legitimate threat in the playoffs to contend for the Super Bowl. This division, to me, comes down to this Thursday night game between the Steelers and the Ravens. I know we got 6 more weeks to play, but this one right here will set the tone, and we're going to talk about that game later on. So congratulations to Mike Tomlin and the Steeler Nation on going into Washington and getting a quality win against a quality team. Not a surprise anymore. The Commanders are what they are. They are going to be a playoff team. They are going to be a serious threat in the playoffs, in my opinion. So the Steelers earned a very, 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 very big victory in Landover, Maryland on Sunday. So kudos to them.